21. When a true lover of God goes into a tavern, the tavern becomes his chamber of prayer. But when a wine bibber goes into the same chamber, it becomes his tavern. In everything we do, it is our hearts that make the difference, not our outer appearance. Sufis do not judge other people on how they look or who they are. When a Sufi stares at someone, he keeps both eyes closed, instead opens a third eye, the eye that sees the inner realm. Rule number 22. Life is a temporary loan, and this world is nothing but a sketchy imitation of reality. Only children would mistake a toy for the real thing, and yet human beings either become infatuated with the toy or disrespectfully break it and throw it aside. In this life, stay away from all kinds of extremities, for they will destroy your inner balance. Sufis do not go to extremes. A Sufi always remains mid and moderate. Rule number 23. The human being has a unique place among God's creation. Breathe into him of my spirit. God says each one of us, without exception, is designed to be God's delegate on earth. Ask yourself, just how often do you behave like a delegate? If you ever do so, remember, it falls upon each of us to discover the divine spirit inside and live by it. Rule 24. Hell is in the here and now, so is heaven. Quite worrying about hell or dreaming about heaven, as they are both present inside this very moment. Every time we fall in love, we ascend to heaven. Every time we hate, envy, or fight someone, we tumble straight into the fires of hell. Rule number 25. Each reader comprehends the Holy Quran on a different level of tandem with the depth of his understanding. There are 4 levels of insight. The first level is the outer meaning, and it is the one that the majority of the people are content with. Next is the batin, the inner level. Third, there is the innermost of the internal. And the fourth level is so deep it cannot be put into words, and is therefore bound to remain indescribable. Rule number 26. The universe is one being. Everything and everyone is interconnected through an invisible web of stories. Whether we are aware of it or not, we are all in a silent conversation. Do no harm, practice compassion, and do not gossip behind anyone's back, not even a seemingly innocent remark. The words that come out of our mouths do not vanish, but are perpetually stored in infinite space, as they will come back to us in due time. One man's pain will hurt us all. One man's joy will make everyone smile. Rule number 27. Whatever you speak, good or evil, will somehow come back to you. Therefore, if there is someone who harbors Therefore, if there is someone who harbors ill thoughts about you, saying similarly bad things about him will only make matters worse. You will be locked in a vicious circle of malevolent energy. Instead, for 40 days and nights, say and think beautiful things about that person. Everything will be different at the end of 40 days because you will be different inside. Rule number 28. The past is an interpretation, the future is an illusion. The world does not move through time as if it were a straight line proceeding from the past to the future. Instead, time moves through and within us in endless spirals. Eternity does not mean infinite time, but simply timelessness. If you want to experience eternal illumination, put the past and the future out of your mind and remain within the present moment. Rule number 29. Destiny doesn't mean that your life has been strictly predetermined. Therefore, to leave everything to fate and to not actively contribute to the music of the universe is a sign of sheer ignorance. The music of the world is all pervading and is composed of 40 different levels. Your destiny is the level where you play your time. Your destiny is the level where you play your tune. You might not you might not change your instrument, but how well to play is entirely in your hands. Rule number 30. The true Sufi is such that even when he is unjustly accused, attacked, and condemned from all sides, he patiently endures, uttering not a single bad word about any of his critics. A Sufi never apportions blame. How can there be opponents or rivals or even others when there is no self in the first place? How can there be anyone to blame when there is only one? Rule number 31. If you want to strengthen your faith, you will need to soften inside. For your faith to be rock solid, your heart needs to be as soft as a feather. Through an illness, accident, loss, or fright, one way or another, we are all faced with incidents that teach us how to become less selfish and judgmental and more compassionate and generous. Yet some of us learn the lesson and manage to become milder, while some others end up becoming even harsher than before. Rule number 32. Nothing should stand between you and God. No imams, priests, rabbis, or any other custodians or moral or religious leadership, not spiritual masters, and not even your faith. Believe in your values, and your rules, but never lord them over others. If you keep breaking other people's hearts, whatever religious duty you perform is no good. Stay away from all sorts of worship, for they will blur your vision. Let God and only God be your guide. Learn the truth, my friend, but be careful not to make a fetish out of your truths. Rule number 33. While everyone in this world strives to get somewhere and become someone, only to leave it all behind after death, you aim for the highest stage of nothingness. Live this life as light and empty as the number zero. We are no different from a pot. It is not the decorations outside, but the emptiness inside that holds us straight. Just like that, it is not what we aspire to achieve, but the consciousness of nothingness that keeps us going. Rule number 34. Submission does not mean being weak or passive. It leads to neither fatalism nor capitalism, just the opposite. Real power resides in submission, a power that comes within. Those who submit to the divine essence of life will live in the unperturbed tranquility and peace. Even the whole full world goes through turbulence after turbulence. Rule number 35. In this world, it is not similarities or regularities that take us a step forward, but blunt opposites, and all the opposites in